everyone, this is Jean of gaikokuJEAN's Journey and welcome back again to my channel. So in today's vlog, I'm going to share to you some of the successful lessons that I did in my junior high school lessons. So if you're interested to know about this video, then please keep on watching. Alright, so thank you for staying, guys. So in this video, before we start, as usual, I'm going to teach you some Japanese words that I think will be helpful for you in this kind of situation. So in the classroom, so students always have these things. The first one is pencil, but how do you say pencil in Japanese? Pencil in Japanese is enpitsu. Enpitsu. The second one is ball pen, or they say boru pen. Boru pen. Yes. Okay. And the third one is eraser, or they call it keshigomu. Keshigomu. Let me say that again. Keshigomu. Keshigomu. Alright. And scissors. They call scissors as hasami. Hasami. Right? And the last one is pointer. So this is commonly used by the teachers when pointing for things or when you're teaching the students. So usually what I hear from my co-teachers is pointer, pointer, or actually there's a Japanese word for it, which is shijibo, shijibo, shijibo. Okay, right. Now if you want to ask, do you have blah blah blah, or let's replace the blah blah blah, do you have a pencil? You would say enpitsu wa arimasu ka? Enpitsu wa arimasu ka? Enpitsu, this one, the pencil, wa arimasu ka? So now let's change it to boru pen. Boru pen wa arimasu ka? Boru pen wa arimasu ka? Keshigomu. Keshigomu wa arimasu ka? Keshigomu wa arimasu ka? Next, hasami. Hasami wa arimasu ka? Hasami wa arimasu ka? And the last one, shijibo. Shijibo wa arimasu ka? Shijibo wa arimasu ka? And if you want to answer like yes you have, you would say hai arimasu. Hai arimasu. Or if you want to say like if you don't have it, iie arimasen. Iie arimasen. Alright, so those are our Japanese words and expressions for the day. So now let's move on to the topic of this video. So I'm going to share to you a few of my successful lessons in junior high school setup. But first, I want you to know that there are different kinds of setups in classroom, setups of teaching in a junior high school classroom. So the first one is you could be the T1. The second one is T2. And the third one is team teaching. Now let's go back to the first one. First one is T1 or Teacher 1, meaning to say the ALT is responsible of the class from warm-up to the closing. Or sometimes they would also have the furikaeri. Furikaeri is like the reflection time of the students. They're going to write what are the things that they have learned in the class. Okay, so in here it's actually a 15-minute class, so meaning to say you are going to like start from warm up to having a presentation to practice, production, and closing, and furikaeri. Of course, your JTE is around the classroom, but your JTE is going to assist you mostly in classroom management, or sometimes the JTE could help you in making the students understand what you are talking about. You know, in some cases, like when students get a difficulty or have a difficulty in understanding of like what's going on. Alright, now the second one is the T2. For the T2, your JTE or the Japanese teacher of English is the one leading the class. But you as the T2 or the teacher 2 in the classroom, you're going to assist in the lesson. So say for example, your teacher could ask you to read a passage. Your students listen to you, or our second time would be you're going to read a passage and the students are going to repeat after you. It's like you're modeling how to say and read the sentences. So it's a practice time for the students. Or it could also be like if your students are doing the output are already into production time, you're going, like say for example, they're writing an essay or a speech, then you're going to like walk around the classroom and try your best to assist them, especially the students that you think are like left behind or having troubles and making their outputs. So that's the role of T2 or teacher 2 as of ALTs in the classroom. Now the last one is team teaching. Both you and your teacher, your Japanese teacher, is running the class. Now in this situation, your JTE can actually ask you, or will actually ask you to do the warm-ups or and the production level for the students. So you can do like an activity, or your JTE will ask you to do the presentation part and the practice part of the class. So really depends on what your JTEs request for you as an ALT in the classroom. Now among those three, if you're gonna ask me which one is my role is actually T1. I'm always the one running the classes from the warm-ups up to the furikaeri. So we have a reflection time in our classroom, and that's when I know if the student understood my lessons, or if they do have requests and wanted to know more about my class. And my JTE, since they're writing that in Japanese and some of the kanjis I don't understand it, my JTE is actually translated for me after the class, and by that I could make and plan again another lessons to improve their skills and that grammar point. Now I'm going to start sharing you a few of my activities, and I hope you will like have an idea from this. So hi, this is actually one of the lessons that I prepared, and this is for the first year level, and our target structure for this one is using the RU, or asking questions, like say for example for this one. So assuming that your JTE has already discussed the grammar point or the grammar structure, so my role for this one as the ALT or having an ALT class is to practice them using the grammar point. So I'm going to start with showing them some pictures like this, which they usually see in the bathroom. So I'm going to ask them, hey, hello everyone, so what is this, or what's this? And most of the students will be shouting, toilet, toilet. That means toilet. And actually, yes. And I'm gonna say, yes, this is the sign that you see in the toilet. But what does this sign mean over here? I'm pointing to the one on the left side. And they would say, girl, women, yes, of course. And how about on the right side? That's the boy or guy or otoko. They would say that in Japanese also, and in some cases. And yes, I would acknowledge that. So I'm gonna say, hey, I am a girl. Are you a girl? And of course they would say, yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. I have the answers in here just to guide some of the other students who are having a confusion of like what's going on. I mean, you will always have that one student who needs a little help, you know? And then next, what country is this, or what's this? And they would say Philippines, yes. Yes, I am from the Philippines. Are you from the Philippines? And other students, they all of them will answer, yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, that's it. Perfect. And let's move on to the next one. Oh, look at this picture. I'm going to point on to the teacher. I am a teacher. Are you a teacher? And again, they would say, yes, I am. No, I'm not. So now that they're kind of familiar into what's going to happen or what's the goal of the lesson, I'm going to write it on the board. Today's goal is to learn or practice this expression. So we're gonna ask, are you a blah blah blah? Right? Answer would be yes I am or no I'm not. So we're gonna start now our activity. Yes, a practice activity, and this is called the lucky line activity. Other ALTs, they call it a crisscross activity, but the goal of the game is to just practice the structure, right? And for this one, how do you play this game? So you just ask every one of your students to stand up, and if they were able to answer, or if they want to answer the question, they just raise their hand. If they answered it correctly, they can choose front, back, left, right, or only me, right? That means wherever or whichever line they choose, they get the liberty to sit down. All right, so let's get started. Lucky line game. So here, are you a kendo club member? One student will answer, and yes I am, or no I'm not. Whatever they answer, it's actually fine. Yes I, as long as it's yes I am and no I'm not the yes I do and no I don't. All right, then if they answer, I'm gonna ask them, is it a front, back, left, right, or only you? And then they answer whatever they feel. I do have like some students who would always choose only me, and that makes the class more chaotic because their classmates would say like, what, you're so selfish. Yeah, but in a joke way. Okay, now continuing to that. Yes, I'm using the club activities and most of the words that they know in my lessons, like, are you thirsty? As you can see, it's very easy because the goal here is for them to use are you and not to be confused with the other words that I'm going to put in here. Yeah, so are you an arts club member? Yes I am. No I am not. Are you hungry? Yes. Are you a swimming team member? So on and so forth, that you can see here. And question next. Yeah, I circled the picture of the student in here to make you know a distinction between the teacher and the student, and that I'm talking about the student. All right, so are you a student? And students would say yes I am, no I'm not. Yes, again they get to choose front, back, left, or right. So this is actually possibly a new word for some of the students. That's why I'm gonna say, or if they say what does it mean? What tall means? So I'm gonna tell, I am tall. This person is tall and this person is short. Okay, but I refrain from making an example about my students because you don't want to like call them short or call them tall, right? Let them handle it themselves. All right, so are you tall? And would say, yes I am, no I'm not. And are you a table tennis club member? Again, we're going back in here. And yes, this one they learned at 12 years old in the previous lesson, so that's why I am using this expression in here. So are you 12 years old? And most of them is like they're gonna answer yes I am. Okay, and are you a track and field member? Yeah. Are you from Japan? And it would say, yes I am, I'm from Japan. I lived in Shizuoka, which is really good. They learned that already in the previous lesson. And yeah, that's it. Like, that's how I run my presentation and practice activity for this grammar point. So very easy as like that, you know. I'm just trying to, I'm helping the students to review the grammar point that they have learned with their JTE. And now let's go on to my next activity. Actually, you know what, this one will take 7 to 10 minutes. Then after that I go with the production level. So for the production level, I prepared a worksheet for my students. I got an inspiration for this one from the ALTpedia. That group is really helpful for me to like brainstorm and create new activities that I could do in my lesson. So this one, they're gonna do it by pair or by group, depending on like what type of class you have, right? So here, guess who? And I put here some example questions. This Japanese word means for example. So, 例えば. So choose a star and write the star on your secret character. Then let your group guess about it by asking questions. So they're gonna put like a star. Say for example, I am Misaki. I decided to be Misaki, and Misaki is tall and hungry. And then she's a boy. She's a girl. Sorry for that. She's a girl, and she's of course from Japan in here. So Japan, America, Japan, America. You can actually change it in here if you want. Like you can put a flag of Brazil, Australia. Just make sure that the students know the English of those countries. And they start asking their friends. This one is very easy to do in the classroom, and students really love doing this kind of activity. So that's it for my first year level of English class.